Hi everybody, this is Jason Stucki checking in with Visual Media. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about typography. Typography is the placement of text or type on your media. It is a very important part of graphic design, and it's actually one of the areas that I find the most fascinating. Most of you have probably read the homework and you've learned a little bit about it, and you probably have some questions. My goal is to answer those questions today and to show you how to use it properly so that you can go out and practice real-life typography. So first off, I want to direct you to this file I have in Adobe Illustrator. Here we are with the first word, kerning. Kerning is the horizontal space between your text characters. This can be wide, it can be narrow. If you look down here below, you'll notice the word kerning 3 times. Over here on my character palette, you'll notice a little tool here called the tracking settings. Kerning, being the spacing in between, can be adjusted with this tracker. You'll notice that here I say that this is negative 30 points. Now this one here that's a little bit wider is 0 points, and this one that's even wider is a positive 30 points. With this tracking, you can adjust that to any number you want. However, when you are placing text in a document, I strongly recommend that you never condense or decrease your kerning by less than negative 30 points, and never more than a positive 30. Now, if you're a typography nerd like myself, you've probably heard the joke, what's kemming? Kemming is really bad kerning, as revealed here. Get it? Ha ha. Okay. The next word is leading. Leading is the vertical space between the lines of text. Here you can see that the leading is decreased way too much and the letters interfere with the line above. Here is a good neutral setting, and here it's probably a little bit too much. You will learn what visually looks good yourself, but also based on what type of work you're doing, and you'll develop an eye as you study examples and as you come to know it yourself. So let's look at some other examples and play with this a little bit. We're going to go over here to another file I have. This is a flyer that I've designed called Before Your Consultation. To make it really quick, I just want to show you that I have 1-inch margins selected on the right and the left and the bottom. My text isn't within the margins, and I really want it to fit with a 1-inch margin. Also, I want my right side to be aligned, and I don't want extra space between the letters. I want things to look accurate and consistent throughout the entire document. As you can see up here, things are aligning pretty nice. But as we move down, you can see that things are getting a little bit loose. For example, what I would do is I would take my selection tool and I would select favorites and the line above. And up here I'm going to go over here and I am going to start decreasing the kerning. And see, now favorites fits, but I went too far. I'm going to do it until it's maxed out. And that's probably right here at -2. If I go to -1, it goes down. So we'll take it back to -2. Now, analyzing, we can probably move this one up. So let's decrease that a little bit. And that looks nice. Same with this. You can see that now we're just increasing in space with each line. So we just pull that in a little bit more. You can see we only went -7 points to get that there. So things are really still readable. Remember that rule. -30 to +30. That gives you a 60-point range to work in. Never violate that. The other thing you can see is that still hasn't changed my bottom margin. I'm still overlapping and I want to bring that in. So some of the things that we could do is we could start adjusting. For example, let's look at all these subtitles. Plan has 30 points. Pictures has 30 points. Color samples, 30 points. Information, 30 points. And deposit, 30 points. So those are all consistent. So maybe what we could do is we could start decreasing something else. Let's look at our serif font that we've used here. We're at 12 points. We could probably decrease that by 1 point, and it slowly moves things up, just a point at a time. Same thing here. Whoops, we went to 13. We want to make it 11. Here, you'll start to see more of a difference taking place. We'll decrease that by 1 point. We'll do the same with this line. It's actually at 13 points. So we're down to 11. And here we'll make that 11. And with this last line, changing it to 11, actually it is 11, so 10, you can see that now we fit within the margin pretty close. We do come down a little bit. So maybe what we could do is possibly decrease a couple things, play around with it a little bit, make it look good. Some of it might be simply by adjusting the kerning in some of these areas, you will end up eliminating a line. Work on it and see what you can do. And then place your different visual items in. The finished product ends up looking like this. We'll come over here, we'll clean up the board a little bit, remove the guides. You can see that the finished product looks much better and everything fits very nicely within the margin. And that is how you work with kerning and leading. Honestly, you're going to get the most experience by just going out and doing. It can end up being a little bit boring at times, especially if you're working on a long text. But it actually becomes fascinating. And in a way, it even becomes a game. You'll find that there are challenges to doing it and fitting within that range. You might have to change your wording a little bit. One more rule that I want to emphasize is if you look over here, not only is everything right aligned very nicely, but there are also no hyphens used at all. I like to make it a goal to never use hyphens when making a document. It makes things look a lot nicer. Good luck, class. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or give me a call. Hope you have a good day. We'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye.